Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.G, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to zero in a red dot. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the stuff that I have on this Glock 26, because I know that's a question I get a lot in the comments anytime I feature a handgun. And why not the 26? I feel like this one doesn't get enough content on my channel, and it's a great gun. So let's go over some of the stuff I have on this. Now, on this 26, it is an MOS and it's a Gen 5. Starting down here, we have an SLR Rifle Works +5 magazine extension, and this thing is incredible. It's been 100% reliable. I had it on my channel way back when, and ever since I've been running it, and I've never had an issue with it. Now, this is a total of 15 rounds in the 26, which is a great amount of capacity for the size of the 26. The reason I went with this +5 aftermarket as opposed to an OEM 15 round Glock magazine from like a Glock 19 is that this one, for one, it's metal instead of polymer. It feels really, really good in the hand, and it's a little bit shorter in overall height, meaning it's a little better to conceal versus that factory 15 round magazine from Glock. So I really do enjoy this SLR Rifle Works mag extension. And then I also have my favorite night sights, which is night vision. So we have optic height sights. The back sight, as you guys can see, is blacked out, and the front has a tritium night sight up front. And I love how it looks because it's really sleek looking on this 26. And then obviously the dot, we're going to zero in the Zero Hawk EM1. This dot has seriously impressed me. It's very affordable. It went through a extreme torture test, and actually it was this exact dot that I put through the torture test. And I said, man, if this thing made it through all that and held zero, which is very important, why not put it on a gun? It deemed itself worthy, not only to make it on a gun that I use on a regular, but also on two other of my handguns that I use. So this is the Zero Hawk EM1 that we will zero in. And if you guys will notice, this does have a adapter plate, and that also comes with the Zero Hawk EM1. So it comes with an MOS adapter plate and an RMR adapter plate. This is an RMSC footprint optic, so it will direct mount to any basically micro style or micro sized handgun with the RMSC footprint cut. But if you have an RMR cut or MOS handgun, they give you adapter plates so that you can run them on there perfectly fine. So it is a really, really good, reliable red dot, as you guys can see, and it is a multi-reticle system. So you have a 2 MOA circle, or I'm sorry, 2 MOA dot, 32 MOA circle. You can use them together, or you can use one over the other, however it is that you want to run your red dot. So that's kind of what I have all and in terms of my setup on this Glock 26. So now let's talk about how we're going to zero in the red dot. And I am a hands-on learner, so I'm assuming a lot of you guys out there are as well. So we're going to go to the range, and as I explain this to you, I'm going to show it to you guys. Now we're going to start by putting our target out about 5 yards. And it's going to be nice and short, and what we're going to do is take 5 slow and steady shots at 5 yards. And once we accomplish getting these 5 shots out of the way, we're going to reel that target back in and kind of just see how we did. Now, depending on where those shots are, if they shot to the left, to the right, up, or down, we're going to adjust our red dot. And every red dot should have, at least a good red dot, should have these turrets that you'll see on the top and on the right hand side. And those are your windage and elevation turrets. So we're going to adjust those as needed. Now we're going to bring that target out to 10 yards and do the same thing. 5 slow, steady shots. And once we accomplish those 5, we'll reel that target back in. We'll take a look at our target and see where we hit, because we want to make sure that wherever we aim that dot, that's where our shots are going 100% of the time. Now, if your dot is still off, again, we're going to do the same thing we did before, adjust using those turrets, and then put it back out at 10 yards, shoot another 5 until you get a good group of 5 exactly where your dot is at, which should be at the center. Then you move to 15 yards and do the same thing. Now, depending on where you feel comfortable zeroing in a dot, for me personally, it's 15. A lot of people like to do 25 as well. So wherever you feel comfortable, that's where you're going to want to go out to and make sure that you're hitting dead on at that range that you feel comfortable at. And once you've done that, congrats, you've successfully zeroed in your red dot, and your red dot should be good to go. Now, a couple things to keep in mind about adding a red dot, or honestly any accessories on your handguns at all. Make sure that they are reliable and you trust your life with them. because a lot of the times people will add accessories just because they look cool, because they're available, because they're new releases, whatever the case is. But make sure you're testing your stuff. I used the SLR Rifleworks mag extension for a long period of time before I finally put it on something that I carry or something that's in my rotation. So make sure it's trustworthy. The Night Vision night sights, extremely reliable company. Their iron sights, night sights, can't really go wrong with night vision. And of course, your red dot. Make sure that the red dot is trustworthy. Make sure you've ran with it a few times. Make sure that you've even torture tested, dropped it, and made sure that it stayed on zero, because it's cool to have a new optic on there, but and going to the range is one thing, and making sure it's hitting that target is one thing. But what happens if you accidentally drop it, or something happens, right? Where you get a little bump, a little scratch, whatever, it drops in water, get some dirt or mud on there, whatever. Then you go back and test it and it doesn't hold zero. Now you got a problem. No matter how new it is, you got to make sure your dot stays zeroed in. And that's the reason I was really impressed by the Zero Hawk EM1, is because even after that extreme torture test we put this thing through, it maintained that zero, and I was really impressed. So it did end up making it on a couple of my firearms. If you guys are interested in that video, I do have links on that, and I'll put it up for you guys as well. But I hope this video answered a ton of your questions about how to zero in a red dot. And of course, if you have additional questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Smash the like button if this was helpful for you or for someone else. And don't forget to let me know in the comments what range you zero in your red dot and what red dot you like to run on your EDC. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But if you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.